So, you want to juggle the normal life with fitness and business? Well, here's how I do it, and here's how you can do it too. Now, let me just say before we get started, I hope that by me making these videos, it adds some value to your life, and maybe you implement some of the things that I show you here, and it, improves your life generally. And that really is my main goal. I'm not here to get famous or anything like that. That's not what I'm about. It's about just hoping that it provides value to whoever watches it, and maybe even if it improves your life by 0.1%, then that's totally worth it for me. First up, time management. Now, perhaps you're not the greatest at organising yourself, and maybe that's something you need to work on, because let's say you're still at school like myself and you get home about 3:30 and you need to do your homework, your revision, and by the time you've done all that, it's already, 5:30. And then you need to do some exercise, and you need to do some business related ideas, and then create a video. I need to do all of that within one afternoon. Now, maybe for you it might help if you maybe had a planner or scheduler and you plan the week ahead. So maybe you picked a day like Sunday. Every day you plan the week ahead, you know what you're going to do, and you stick to that timetable and be consistent. Now, if you don't do that, then you can often find that things will go all over the place, and you might not be as well organised, or you might have time issues and all sorts of trouble, rather than if you planned ahead, then maybe that could help you get one step further into it, whatever it is you're trying to do at the minute. So if you mapped out your workouts, your business attempts, your whatever it may be, maybe you're already heading a business game and you're not that into fitness and you want to change those things, and that would be a great way to get started. If you plan ahead, then you know what you're aiming to do, and if you know what you're aiming to do, you know how to get there. If you don't know what you want to do, then how you do expect to have a way of trying to get there. Now, my next thing is don't skip it, whatever it is. So let's talk fitness. Let's say you've planned out that you're going to do fitness 4 to 5 times a week, and then you get home one day and you just think, well, it would be so much easier if I didn't do this, or so much easier if I didn't do that bit of movement. Well, if you've planned ahead, then that can keep you to stick to that timetable. And if you don't do it, then it just leads to a decrease in your consistency and discipline, and the more you don't do it, the more you'll probably like not doing it, or you'll think differently, and then you'll think, oh well, I didn't do that one day, so tomorrow I'll have a day off as well, and then it just builds up from there like a snowball effect, really. So if you can stay consistent with your movement, with your business, with your planning, whatever it may be, might not even be any of those things, then that can lead you onto a greater path to success rather than not doing it at all. And like I say, it is hard to find time, I agree with that. But let's say you find 2 minutes at work or a few minutes here and there, just to work on whatever it is you're trying to do, or improve your life really overall. So that can lead to an increase in your productivity and achievements and working closer towards your goals. The key is to make it part of your routine, whether it's a quick 30-minute or 10-minute session of whatever it is. Then just get started. Stop waiting for, when you have a good solid 2 hours. And if you could build up the little time sessions you have every now and then, that can build up to quite a long time overall, leading to, maybe you achieve that goal, maybe you get that job, maybe you, improve your life just overall. It's not about having hours to kill, it's about the consistency. So if you can stay consistent, I talk about this all the time, stay consistent, then you stay closer to your goals. Now, the next thing is just to stay focused and eliminate distractions. Now, I get that phones, social media, all those things can be really tempting, and sometimes, you might want to scroll on social media, but just think to yourself, what I said similar to the last video is, if you're spending half an hour on social media scrolling, then are you really being productive? And I get we all want to have downtime or chill time, whatever it may be. But in the moment, if you think, is this really going to help me? Is it going to push me forward? Is it going to improve my future? And if the answer is no. So a tip for you, maybe when you're trying to work or build your way up to success, maybe leave your phone on Do Not Disturb or silent, or put it in another room completely, turn it off. things like that, because phones now are one of the biggest distractions that you can face when you're trying to build yourself up to something else. There's something called the Pomodoro technique, which is where you set a 25-minute timer of hard work, then you have 5 minutes rest, and you keep repeating that cycle over and over. And by having that 5-minute rest, it can really help to clear your mind and maybe make you think a bit more clearly for when you have that next 25-minute session of hard work to come. Now, by doing this, it will help you to stay focused because you get to do way more in less time. Now, I'm thinking of doing a day in the life or week in the life of me, just to show you how I manage things and how I get things done. So let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in to watch in a future video maybe. One last thing I want to share with you guys, keep pushing forward. Now, I know some days are tough, but that's normal. That's what pushes you forward, and that's where you grow as a character. If every single day was easy, then you just fly by and no trouble would come. But by going through those troubles and those failures and mistakes, you know, hard goings, then that builds your character, and ultimately wherever you want to get to be, you have to become that person that's been through the struggles, the hard work, to get to the top ultimately. Now, don't be hard on yourself when things don't always go as planned, and as I always say, take it one step at a time, because progress is progress, no matter how big or small. Now, if you have that mindset and think that even if I push forward 0.0000001% every day, then it can, if you're still moving towards your goals, and that's the result you want at the end of the day. And I get that some days you might be moving back and you might be feeling like you're doing worse than you were the day before. And like I said, that's part of those hard times, that discipline, that hard work. Because you need to become that person that where you want to be has to go through all them struggles. So, yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it might be, you might feel like it's going on forever. But if you can push through them hard times, and that will lead you to where you want to be in the end. Just keep putting in the work, just keep showing up, and trust that it will pay off eventually. So to wrap that all up, the key thing is to keep going even when you don't feel like it. Now, every step you take towards your goals is going to lead you, hopefully, to the success that you want to achieve at the end. Now, in terms of this management, all these ideas, you have to combine them together if you want to keep up the consistency of the busy lifestyle maybe you live, but you still want to implement fitness, business, things like that are going to move you forward and ultimately lead you to success in the end.